stifled, fit into a box furnished with white lace gloves and hats held under the chin with an elastic band, friends picked by their income and family background, and a debutante ball at 17 that led to another tear-stained marriage, another loveless childhood. "Please put the knit hat on Sharon, wrap her in her down blanket, and bring her to me. I'll be in the library," Isabel instructed. "As you wish, madam." Mrs. Graham bobbed a curtsy that mocked Isabel and promised that another phone call would be made to Mrs. Benjamin. Isabel didn't care. Not even the threat of her mother-in-law's displeasure could dissuade her from her course. She walked down the 2 flights to the library. The painting, held carefully away from her body, got heavy. Her arms grew tired. And this part she dreaded more than any other. But when it was over forever, and she'd be relieved. So relieved. She walked into the lofty room with its shelves packed with leather-bound books, its massive desk and old-fashioned chair, and the alcove where 2 snarling lions guarded a marble fireplace. As she expected, she found Bradley in his easy chair, his bourbon on the table beside him, his smoking cigar between his fingers. He was a handsome man with a shock of dark brown hair. When she first met him, his appearance had been what turned Isabel's head. That and the flattering experience of having a wealthy older man paying court to her. He'd said all the right things. He'd enjoyed her conversation. He'd been indifferent to her poverty. Most important, he'd admired her art. For the first time in her whole life, someone who'd visited the Louvre and Florence and the Taj Mahal had seen in her paintings enough promise to call in the foremost art expert in the world. Bjorn Kelly had been half Scandinavian, half Irish, with an eye patch, a limp, and an incredible charisma that mesmerized and enticed. He also had no patience with being dragged halfway across the world by the infatuated Bradley to look at a stupid woman's paintings, until he'd seen them. Then he'd yelled at her for bad technique and no vision, told her to stop drawing like a girl, and given Bradley the names of 2 American art teachers worthy of her genius. That was the term Bjorn used, genius. When Isabel remembered that moment and how her love for Bradley had swept through her heart, she wanted to break the painting she held over his stubborn, handsome head. Instead, she walked with firm footsteps across the library, no more tiptoeing around, and leaned the painting against the fireplace facing him. As if stung, he half rose from his chair. "What the hell is that? Some kind of cruel going-away present?" "It's a gesture of my appreciation, Bradley. Without you, I would never have been able to create a painting like this." She dragged the wooden chair away from the desk and over to the fireplace. "Without me and that damned Kelly." Bradley's lips were so stiff they hardly moved as he spoke. "Yes, damned Kelly helped me too." "Don't be smart with me," Bradley snapped. Isabel looked him right in the eyes. Or what? The silence between them grew and seethed until Mrs. Graham bustled in, breaking the spell. "Sharon is still asleep," she said, her tone making it clear that she didn't expect the condition to continue and that it was all Isabel's fault. Mrs. Graham was an officious, judgmental woman who for 30 years had served the best Southern families and fancied herself above Bradley Benjamin's upstart wife. Mrs. Graham would be delighted to see the back of Isabel. She wouldn't be quite so delighted to see her employment disappear at the same time. "Wait there," Isabel told her. "I'll take the baby when I'm done." She stood on the seat and lifted the old painting off the hook. She stepped down, walked over to the bookshelves and placed it there. Picking up her painting, she stepped on the chair again. It rocked under the weight of her and the heavy canvas. Bradley surged to his feet, caught her waist, and balanced her. The 2 of them stood motionless, joined by the sensation of touch and all the old feelings, lust, fury, pain, so much pain. Then Bradley stepped away and wiped his palms on his pants. The insult broke what was left of her heart, and she almost doubled over. But she couldn't lie to herself. She had known what would happen when he accused, and she acceded. Her hands trembled as she placed the wire over the hooks. She straightened the painting as well as she could and asked, "Is it level?" "Yes." His voice was gruff. "I'm leaving you my best work." "You're a damned whore." He rejected her with his voice, with his words, with his stance and his accusing gaze. Mrs. Graham inhaled with shock. "I know." Isabel looked down at him. "But I won't contest a divorce or..."